If you don't know, recently The Boys season 4 came out, and I was absolutely hyped for this because the last previous thing we got from The Boys or anything to do with the series was Gen V. And I watched Gen V, and honestly, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was decent. I thought the ending was cool. Homelander came in and we had all the connections and stuff, and now obviously we know why Gen V connects to season 4 of The Boys. But I still wouldn't say it was an amazing show. Obviously, it's not a bad show at all though. It's not as good as The Boys. As of The Boys season 4 has been released, there are a lot of pros to this and a lot of cons. However, I want to offer my general insights into it of why I think it's good and why I think it's bad. But keep in mind, the whole season hasn't finished yet. So, you know, this is just my opinion. So before people start coming at me, because I see it a lot, it's just an opinion. You can give yours as well. No one is wrong. No one is right. Everyone's entitled to say what they like. I want to start off by saying, first of all, season 4, amazing season. Definitely one of my favorite seasons so far. And I think when you keep going with a show and you've done 4 seasons and you've made it to the 4th season and you have to go in, like, I feel like, you know, shows, movies, they tend to go spiral downhill after the 2nd season, the 3rd. You know, if you're lucky, they make it past the 3rd movie. That's good. But with The Boys, it continuously just gets better, and the plot and the storyline slowly hooks you in more. And I think that's so cool how they've done this with season 4. It feels fresh, feels good, but with the old cast and the old people still back in the same feeling, it still feels refreshing. Now, first of all, with the pros, we got character development. You know, viewers might see deeper character arcs and more complex relationships in this series in progress. You know, so far we've seen Kimiko and her past, how she's dealing with it and how she's struggling with it, and Frenchie killing literally his lover's family. You know, this shit gets really deep this season, and Homelander's still dealing with his multiple personality disorder, finding out who he is, Billy Butcher going through the last months of his life. It's all a lot of character development, and Huey losing his dad, it's a lot to deal with. Starfire having an abortion, everyone has got their own shit going on, and it's not just light. Now, we also got the plot progression. Earlier ongoing storylines may become more intricate and engaging, building on past seasons, cliffhanger and unresolved issues. You know, we're still engaged to see what's going on, we're still engaged to see what's happening, and that's what makes this so beautiful and so good. There's so much to be left off, like what happened to Black Noir, why is he back, where is Gen V, where is Starfire gonna go against Firecracker, is gonna happen with Billy Butcher in the months coming, is Homelander actually gonna die, are they gonna actually take him on? There's so much to be done here, so much to work with, there's so much unresolved stuff that it just keeps you engaged and keeps you hooked the whole way through. I just don't see how we get bored, honestly. I'm not bored. I wait for this shit every single week. We have, I think, 2 more episodes left, and the last episode is literally called fucking Assassination Run. It scares the fuck out of me because, you know, it's just the name of the title. You don't know what's coming, you don't know what to expect, you don't know where, you know, you just don't know what's fucking going on. You know, we also got the action and visuals. The CGI is still on point. The goriness, the grittiness, which makes The Boys so amazing, so realistic, intensifies it still. You know, that one scene with the bats where they got beat up, the fucking scene where Ryan fucking accidentally kicks some guy into a fucking wall and he literally splatters, and the fucking I don't even want to get into it, but the human centipede, that's all I'm gonna say, okay? You know the fucking scene I'm talking about. It was bad. Like, I turned away. I was eating dinner and everything. That was the worst day ever. We also got the Satirical Edge, the series critique. Now, you know, with this high quality special effects and action sequences, they're more likely to continue to impress fans. And honestly, as a fan of The Boys for over years now, I would say this shit still impresses me and still shocks me to this day. And to keep that shock factor is an interesting thing, because it's kind of like something like Mortal Kombat. When you play Mortal Kombat all the time, you know, we get a new fatality, we get some cool fatalities, but there's only so much you can do to the point where you just look and you go, you know, gory, but it's not going to give you that first-time experience. Whereas when you watch The Boys, the directors are so creative and so unique with it that you watch it every time and you go, what the fuck just happened? Or you turn away or you go, what? The same with the Saw movies. It's like the new Saw actually gave me shock. When I watched Saw 10, I was surprised. There was this one scene where a girl cut off her leg. I almost threw up in the cinema. I could not look at that. I was surprised the lengths they went to with that. I was actually shocked how that was allowed to be shown in cinema. And also, we got the Satirical Edge. The series critique of corporate culture and celebrity can stay sharp and relevant, reflecting current social. Yeah, going back to the idea of Starlight in season 4 has her people, what they agree and what they believe in, and then Homelander's got his sides. You know, there's 2 sides fighting, kind of like in real life. You have protesting, you have people arguing all the time, what's right, what's wrong, who should be in power, who shouldn't. I think these all can relate to people, and I think that's cool. And also, we got, you know, we got some racism in there. A-Train suffers a lot of racism throughout the series, and especially in season 4. You know, it's funny, but it's also really fucked up. Obviously, this is all fictional. No, none of this is meant to be taken seriously. Also, we got the fan service. Long-time viewers might appreciate callbacks, Easter eggs, and resolutions of long-standing plot points. There are comics of this, so long-term fans. I never read the comics or looked at them or anything like that, so if you have and you're a long-term fan, you're gonna appreciate a lot of the time they put into the show and a lot of things they've done for it. Now, the con. The risk of the deadline. That can be a big issue, not just with The Boys, but with a lot of things, and I've talked about this in previous videos. Risk of deadlines can be the downfall of so many different things. You know, we had Invincible season 2 release half of it, and then we just didn't get the other half for ages. But I'm actually grateful because if they released it too early, it could have been horrible. And luckily, the second half was amazing. Series often face a risk of declining quality or creative fatigue, potentially leading to less innovative storytelling on top of it. We also got character overload. Introducing too many new characters or storylines can overwhelm the core narrative and the focus. And I feel like they've maybe added a bit too many this season, so we can't really focus on the main characters that need to be focused on. But I feel like they replaced that with the amount of screen time they give certain characters in the season, like Kamiko, Frenchie, and A-Train, which also scares me though, because I feel like we're gonna lose them. Expectations versus reality. You know, you got high expectations from fans who can lead to disappointment if the new season doesn't meet or exceed standards set by previous seasons. But I've also mentioned this in previous videos multiple times. Sometimes we set the expectations for too high for something that's not even possible. We set expectations too high, we lose track of what we actually want and what we actually appreciated in the beginning. Now, there's a risk of repeating themes or plot devices, making the original series feel less fresh and original. You know, balancing multiple storylines and characters can sometimes lead to uneven pacing, with some episodes feeling slower or less engaging, which generally overall can affect the show and affect the series in multiple ways, because you have to create a new storyline, and it can really be hard sometimes from the director point of view, people creating it, from the people going ahead with it. Overall, I would say with The Boys, they're very good at doing it. The director clearly knows the direction, what the audience wants. He listens to the fans, he clearly knows what he's doing, he clearly knows the people he's hiring, and they know the story direction they want to go, and that's why I feel so engaged every time I watch The Boys. And honestly, I'm literally finding cons here. Like, I wouldn't even con this show that much. I actually have no problem with the show. I just think it's good to have a balance of, you know, there's always going to be imperfections, there's always going to be something you're doing great. Really important to look at both sides of everything. Not everyone's perfect, not everything is perfect, nothing is perfect. Good to look at both sides every single time. The Boys, though, set such high standards, though, that it's literally hard for me to find a balance of me not trying to be biased and just looking at the side of, I love the show, so I'm gonna suck it off, you know what I mean? Yeah, overall, The Boys season 4 so far up to episode 6 since I've watched, amazing, great, absolutely loved it, and I just think this show continues to innovate, continues to surprise us, and continues to leave a great storyline with great characters and great impact. And if Anthony fucking Starr doesn't get an Emmy this year, I am fucking taking this shit to court, okay? I'm going fucking full-on Saul Goodman in that bitch. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoying The Boys season 4. I don't know what you guys think about it so far. Yeah, take care, guys.